I'm hungry. You got any food? Chips? Pork rinds?
Right. I just ate right.
Anything?
No.
God damn. You used to always have pork rinds.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, Cookie.
Viva la raza!
Big Mike.
34 days till Christmas. Get your shopping done.
That was the saddest intro.
Well,
That's your plug.
That's your plug this week?
Just letting you guys know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And Tolbert.
Yo, whoop whoop.
Tolbert, are you...
Fuck Christmas.
Are we? Why are we saying this, Tolbert?
I'm excited for Christmas.
Tolbert's going to have the craziest Christmas ever because he's going to have a newborn.
I know.
He's going to have a newborn. And you're supposed to like get all excited about Christmas with like a baby. And you're like, oh, this is so cool. And the baby's just like, like even Elliot's first Christmas was kind of just like, dude, just do something. Like hand him
Poking it with a stick.
hand him a present. He's just like,
Gnaws the corner.
yeah. At least he was able to poke it. Like your little girl, she's just not going to care. Like she's not even going to know.
Tolbert, what did you do this week? Anything?
Put together baby furniture and try to, put the finishing touches on the nursery, things like that. Get ready in between shifts. Yeah, man. Countdown. Final countdown.
Shit.
You can come at any time.
Anytime. You don't know the time or place.
He's in the lull. The lull is when you're pretty much done and ready.
It's hurry up and wait.
And you're just sitting there.
Yeah, we have a midwife appointment in the morning. We'll see what they say, what they think.
Midwifery.
Tolbert, do you feel like at this point, like the reality is setting in that you're not gonna be going to many more heavy metal concerts?
Yeah. I'm trying to sneak in WrestleCade.
It's trying to sneak,
Which we all kind of made by the skin of our teeth, thanks to some friends of ours.
Right.
But hopefully we don't get a call in the middle of the Super Show and have to drive from Winston-Salem
Fast AF
back to Wilmington. That's a 3.5 hour ride, boys.
Luckily though, if she calls you at the first signs of labor, you will make it back in time because it's the first. Tends to take a little bit
unless
longer.
It's like a long snap where she just shoots it out.
Apparently that happens on your like third and fourth job.
Really?
Yeah.
You would think it's just it's just widened at that point.
So we'll see what happens. So tentatively we are going to WrestleCade next week, but
tentatively,
we'll
yes. And we're turning and burning is what we're saying. We're doing it. We're going up that morning and coming back that evening.
Yeah, it'll be a long day.
Somebody just got destroyed in the Panthers game. Oh my God! Look at that.
He got surfboard, or what did they call it in my match?
The Jushin Liger surfboard right there. Holy shit! So turning and burning. We're gonna try to get in, get out, say hello to Aleister Black.
Of course.
Bring him some tissues.
But knock on wood, baby comes after Thanksgiving, so we can enjoy it, eat some food, and hang out. We'll see. Hopefully we get to go to WrestleCade.
Good. So you get to some oysters as well on Thursday.
Yes. In fact, I need to call Oyster Al when I leave here.
Can you tell us about this one Mr. Al?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet.
So you've got a new plug for oysters, and the guy's name is literally Oyster Al.
Is it in Wilmington?
It is.
Can you ask Oyster Al? I would like to also try to do some oysters on Thursday.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Cookie?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, the Titans just made a big game.
Is this a football podcast or is this a wrestling podcast?
I apologize.
We're all half-assed talking. We're talking about Oyster Al. Anyways, thank you, Tolbert, for your service. Mike, you got your Amazon list together? Or are you ready to get some?
We are, burdened with the state of the American healthcare system and hospital bills, so we are not buying anybody gifts. We've already sent out the text messages.
Not even your children?
We have some toys, and you will learn this, Tolbert, is they get a ton of toys throughout the year, in certain things. So you stash a couple away. So they can have them. And I think we're going to wrap those up. Hey, man, times are tough, man.
Noted. That's actually a good hack.
It's genius because you have so much shit. I've actually, in preparation for the Christmas holidays.
wait a minute.
Go ahead.
So are you stashing stuff that they maybe have received for like their birthdays from other people? Like, so you're re-gifting gifts to them,
but it's gonna be from Santa. So they get the joy
it's
of
not from Santa originally.
But they get the joy of opening it at the birthday, and then they get the joy of opening it at Christmas.
That's genius.
Yeah, and also getting to my second
that's
point.
That's not going to work in like 2 years.
It's not,
but now,
it's perfect. And getting to my next point, I have slowly started the process of throwing shit away. So if I step on a toy, gone. If this toy annoys me, gone.
Michael Kondo.
Haven't seen this kid play with this toy, gone. Trust me. I started. Elliot has this racetrack. It's really cool. It's got a really cool race car, but it's really cool when it's put together. But these pieces are very slender and very sharp, and it's worse than stepping on a Lego. So if I find a little solo motherfucker or a tandem, gone. Even if I don't step on it, I pick it up, I throw it away.
I had the original Super Duper Double Looper. Do you remember that race track as a kid? And it had the little metal piece at the bottom, and you put it in the track and you pull the thing, and it sends an electrical current and makes them go around the track. They do a loop and all that shit. I had that originally, played with it once. Howard was so annoyed by the whole process of it. It got put into the category of we're never taking that out again.
We had the circular one where you pull the gun, and we played with it for so long one day. I'm talking like hours.
It probably melted.
It started smoking, but not at the track, at the plug on the outlet. And we're like,
yeah, I love the dangerous toys.
Yeah,
God bless the 90s. But yeah, so I started throwing that stuff away. But I
burnt myself on the creepy crawler machine so many times.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. But, I mean, they were delicious. Was that different one? There was another one where you made the.
Did you eat creepy crawlers as a kid?
Didn't eat creepy crawlers, but there was the one that you could eat.
There were some creepy crawlers that you would use the mold, but you would you would have to put stuff in
gelatin
it for edible thing. It was still the same thing. Yes, Cookie.
Aaron, now I was born in the 90s, early 90s, even though you guys like to think that I was born in 2000. Well, I will say one of the more dangerous toys that we ever purchased was the Sock'em Boppers. Do y'all remember
Sock'em Boppers caused so many concussions.
Dude, that was literally
so many concussions.
Yeah, you just put it around your hand, and people say, so people consider UFC safer than boxing because the smaller amount of pad that you have gives it less amount of surface area to hit your face and cause impact, right?
Yeah.
So the bigger the glove, sometimes the more impact on your face. Think of the Sock'em Boppers.
Yeah. My best friends growing up were twins, and they got Sock'em Boppers one year, and I watched them. Like, I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to do this. And I watched it and I said, okay, we're never doing that again. They looked so unsafe. They got rocked. Dude, I'm talking haymakers left and right. Because they're kids. They don't want to throw a punch. It's just haymaker.
My brother and I got a set for Easter in our Easter baskets.
Right.
It was like the brawl for all every day for like 6 months.
Oh, man.
The number one seed, Dr. Death, Chris Tolbert's coming in here against Bart Gunn.
But I will say, so this week we had a beautiful, all three of us were there. Cookie was not because it's in Colorado.
Cookie.
We had this beautiful Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
A great time to see everybody.
Yeah.
The Davenports, the Shark House, the peanut butter pancakes. They did it up, man.
Yeah.
It looked like a wedding reception in their backyard.
Yeah, it was very, very nice, little bougie for Davenport's taste. But we would like to think of a future wife of Davenport was one who put it all together, made it very nice. Jasmine really liked, there was a nice outdoor tent sort of thing that had like
fire pit.
Yeah, very, very.
They had the gas fire underneath the tent, and then the canopy cabana, as one would say.
Yeah,
and then the real fire pit. So it was awesome. I started that fire with one match. I thought you'd be proud with that.
So you were the one who made that fire.
I made that fire with one match. It was a good fire.
It was good fire.
Boy Scouts, shout out.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to the Boy Scout. It's just now BSA, by the way. After the rebrand is now just BSA.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a good time, man. I woke up super hungover, smoked lots of joints in the grotto area around the fire pit.
Right.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I think Varnum sent some pictures out to one of her fans.
Yeah, we got a new fan.
We sent random incriminating photos out of you.
I just I kept walking by. I go, oh, Tolbert, is the tent safe? Tent's safe. Okay. no safety checks.
I was not the only one there making sure everything was safe. A lot of her peers like to keep things safe as well.
Good. I'm glad. Any other things this week, Big Mike?
Shout out my parents. They painted my kitchen and installed new switches on everything while I worked and did field day.
One of the issues of trying to get people together for this year's WrestleCade was everybody was on the fence for it. They didn't know like whether they were going to go or not go. I kept asking Mike, and Mike's like, oh, we're going to do work on the house. Me and my dad are going to do work on the house. It sounds like your dad is just doing work on the house.
Well, so the difficult thing, I told again, listen, Tolbert, when you have children is you cannot work on the house as a couple because if you have a child, one person has to be monitoring the children to keep them away.
So are you volunteering as a tribute? For that?
So what I'm saying is, well, I will if they needed me to, but I'd never get anything done in my house. So while I was at work or while I was at field day, Amanda managed the children, and then my parents managed the remodel ish, the painting and all that sort of stuff. So it's really appreciative of it because otherwise I'm so content with like, if it works, it's good.
Yeah.
And I would never have painted.
And also, Varnum acts like his dad hasn't done every single project.
Oh, God, yeah.
That is true.
No. I've watched Howard Varnum yell at this kid so many times about this house. Everything involved in this house. I wasn't here for the floors, but I guarantee he was yelling at Aaron about it.
But I'm at least like trying to help out. I'm like trying to, and Dad just takes it out of my hands and does it himself.
You're making it more difficult for your father. I'm being the good son. I'm just getting out of the way. I'm going to work.
All right. Anyway.
Goddamn, Aaron, shut up and let me do it.
Cookie, what's your week been like?
Oh, man. This is the last week of school. Actually, I guess technically Tuesday is. But this is the last week of being in class for school. So that's been exciting. Been writing papers, man. Grad school is tough, just like you guys were talking about probably a year ago.
Cookie, how many, what's the longest paper you had to write?
Oh, man. I just wrote a paper that was 18 pages long. 18 pages.
That's solid.
Yeah. That's a pretty,
Did that include your works cited?
What's up?
Did that include your works cited in your title page?
Yes, it did.
Along
with a glossary as well.
Cookie, try writing 24 pages on how much you hate wrestling fans. I did it, and it was the easiest paper I've ever written in my entire life.
We're gonna need to publish that.
We really
need to publish that underneath the $2 steak handle. The diatribe of a madman. How much he hates wrestling fans as the biggest wrestling fan.
I hate you all.
He just recites it as he stares in the mirror.
Yeah.
That honestly, it sounds like something that they're going to release before I go shoot up an arena.
I'm right there with you. I mean, I tweeted out, I'm like, that Fight Forever chant can go die in a bush alone. Like,
I fucking hate it.
Yes. Oh my god, so bad.
Cookie, anything else this week before?
Nah, man. As soon as this semester is over there, I'm gonna smoke a joint as big as Aaron's head, though.
That's a big joint.
Big fucking head.
It's a big joint.
Exactly.
Are you going like surface area, or are you just going like diameter?
Both. That's a lot of surface area.
Or are we going by weight? Are you going by like grams?
Your weight.
How many grams do you think Aaron's head is?
Typically, a head weighs about 15 pounds. Aaron's probably weighs like 17.
Hey, go grab the digital scale.
Somebody get the scale.
No, for real. Go get the scale.
Yeah, put Aaron's head on the scale.
It's not going to be dead weight.
Yeah.
How do I make it there?
You can't.
We're gonna need
it's not.
Do a headstand.
Somebody choke me out real quick. Choke me.
It's still not.
If I breathe in 10 times really heavily and then somebody squeezes me, have you guys ever? That's the fainting game. Nobody ever played that as a kid?
No, definitely not.
I was terrified of the fainting game.
It's only scary if you do it.
Yeah, I never did it.
The Scoutmaster gave him that drink.
Fainting game. You know the fainting. Howard Varnum was the Scoutmaster.
Oh no!
Now you feel like a dickhead, huh?
Oh no!
Now you feel like a real fucking dickhead, huh?
Makes the joke better.
Yeah, fuck you, Tolbert. Get out of my house. Terry, attack. Is Terry over there? Anyways. All right. This week we're talking about. So last week we set up for this week. This week is all about Davey Boy Smith, big boy Davey Boy Smith. We got some good matches this week. We've got 3 phenomenal paths in our Choose Your Own Adventure novel that we've been writing these past few weeks. We have got Vader as a possibility for next week. We have got Eddie Guerrero as a possibility for next week. And for Big Mike's match, we have got Owen Hart. So let's talk about some wrestling. All right, for the first matchup of the evening, Big Mike, you have got Owen Hart against the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
That's correct. Yeah. June 5th, 1995, Owen Hart versus the British Bulldog, who is actually Owen Hart's brother-in-law.
Yes.
And so they're selling this match. It's a competition. It's a 15-minute time limit competition to be an entrant into the King of the Ring tournament, which Owen Hart is currently King of the Ring.
Yeah, what did they call him? The Rocket King?
Yeah, something like that. And so they talk about how like Undertaker's already, won his match and somebody's got to buy and all this sort of stuff. But I like the premise, and it's sad because you can kind of see where WWE gets what they do now, and they used to do it so much better back then. So they did the women's eliminator match, and I think like the total like wrestling time was 15 minutes for the entire tournament. But so it's an entry. The winner gets an entry into the King of the Ring. Now the stipulation with this is you have to win and you get into the King of the Ring. But once you're in King of the Ring, you have to like win by pinfall.
Correct.
So yeah, no submissions, no none of that. Interesting time in WWE. I would like to kind of figure some of this out. So it's 95. Owen Hart is part of a tag team who are current champions. He's with Yokozuna and Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette.
Yes.
Any details on that?
They were a tag team. That's all I really remember. This was a time when I was like first getting like really into wrestling. Yep. I barely remember it, but I do know Jim Cornette and Fuji as a tag team manager was
correct.
Interesting.
Yokozuna, not currently at ringside, but Mr. Fuji with his Japanese flag and Jim Cornette and his tennis racket were there. Very well, just an odd mix. Man from Kentucky with a tennis racket, guy from Canada, and a dude from Japan. And then we get the British Bulldog coming out. Dude, man, Davey Boy Smith just looks like something else.
It's wild. I was looking at all 3 matches, and I think in your match, he is the most juiced out of his mind at this point.
So he just comes to this qualifying match like ready to just destroy Owen Hart, who again is the current King of the Ring. Owen Hart, not a small man, looks tiny compared to Davey Boy Smith. He's a little taller. JR and Gorilla Monsoon are on commentary. They talk about how, Owen has a chance to be a little faster, a little more explosive, but Davey Boy Smith clearly has the power advantage in this match. We jump right in. I feel as though Owen's supposed to be the heel and Davey's supposed to be the face. And so it takes like I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting the face to just work the heel so early and so aggressively in this match. Davey Boy Smith is doing a little bit of chain wrestling. They're clearly talking about the Hart Dungeon and how, they both learned from Stu and how Brett was the first King of the Ring and then Owen, and now they have a chance to keep it in the family if Davey Boy Smith wins. It's just kind of chain wrestling, grappling, and just Davey Boy Smith is just working the shoulder of Owen back and forth, just twisting it, grinding it. At one point, he gets him up into a military press, like dead weight. Owen Hart probably weighs 240 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Like not light. And Davey Boy Smith is just holding him up there.
Yeah,
like full extension, not even like a grimace in the world. Tosses him. Eventually, Owen Hart, and I kind of like this, gets his little heel run. By taking an Irish whip and just kneeing the shit out of Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah.
Like just gets the knee right in the gut. And it's like, it just shows like, you don't need a big move. You don't need anything crazy to like get that turn or start working it. it really just kind of goes into Owen's favor. He gets Davey Boy Smith hanging on the apron, like his head hanging off the apron. He's like just pounding him in the throat. A little more back and forth. Clearly, they're counting down the time limit. They're doing a better job on commentary saying what the time limit is versus like here you don't hear the
you don't hear it in the arena.
Yeah.
At all.
So I don't know if the fans were confused by that. I will say again, confusing times in WWE at this time. In June of '95, Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler are currently, and I want to watch this whole episode because they are somewhere, or that for some reason they are in Struthers, Ohio.
Yeah, so I didn't get that either. Maybe I think that was
it like a simulcast?
I think it was a simulcast.
So I will say, shout out Struthers, Ohio. Shout out Youngstown, Ohio.
Is that near Struthers?
Struthers is a suburb of Youngstown. Struthers.
Oh, was there an arena? So you could have gone to this.
Technically, I guess I could have. So Struthers,
but your father and mother didn't love you.
It's an interesting place, right? So it's on the east side, like southeast side of Cleveland, or not Cleveland, out of Youngstown. So like the suburb I grew up on was due north. This is kind of due southeast.
Okay.
Do you remember that story I told you about
the hot dog place?
No. Let me tell my story. Or
you were asking a question.
Well, let me tell you this story. It was the away stadium where we're in the locker room and I have to duck and there's like falling concrete and all that sort. That's Struthers.
Okay. How far away is it from where you live? Like
from
30?
where I grew up? 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
12 minutes.
10 minutes.
Across the freeway. So yeah, Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler in Struthers, and they did have this they built, because at the time in Youngstown there wasn't like a venue or like a big space, so the Struthers High School, kind of actually good foresight on their part, built their basketball arena, but made it so it sat like 5,500 people.
So where was the other match?
I don't know. They never say where they're at.
Okay, yeah, I was confused because it seemed like I want
to find out what they were doing in Struthers, Ohio, in June of '95.
It also didn't seem like Gorilla Monsoon and Jim Ross were live in.
I'd agree with that.
It sounded like the audio levels were a little off, where maybe they weren't there as well, wherever that match took place.
Smart. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. But obviously, classic back and forth. Owen's getting his stuff, and then we're getting down. Monsoon's really giving you a good idea of where the time is, all this sort of stuff. And we get, Davey Boy Smith trying to do everything he can, getting a couple pins. We get a surfboard attempt. I love that as soon as he hit the surfboard, the ref started counting him out. Like we see it all the time. You were the first one to ever point it out to me, where you're like, that guy's shoulders down.
Yeah.
And the ref's not counting.
The way you do that move, there is a way that you can do that move without putting your shoulders down.
It's called scapular protraction. Serratus anterior. Reach that bitch up towards the ceiling.
Yeah.
Get your shoulder up off the ground. But yeah, like as soon as Davey Boy Smith hit it, the referee's counting Davey Boy Smith out because his shoulder's down. So he gets out of it before Owen can get out of it. You get a couple back and forths. Try to go for a couple small packages. 10 seconds left. Oh my God, what's happening? Owen gets him up and hits him with the crucifix.
The crucifix penitent. Yep.
Yeah, and pins him. 1, 2, time limit. And then, so at first I'm like, oh man, that's a draw. But then it's perfect, right? So in order to get into the tournament, you have to win. It goes 15 minutes, time limit, draw. Neither of these guys make it into the tournament. So then they don't lose any steam. They don't lose anything by not being king of the ring or being in the tournament. And it's a great out for them. It's like, oh my God, WWE could book things.
Yeah, and it's almost like they were both too good for the tournament.
It made sense.
Yeah.
What is this?
And when you see that year, I looked at the rundown. Mabel, Viscera ended up winning the King of the Ring that year.
Viscera did?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Mabel had to go head to head with the Undertaker.
Yeah. So
but yeah, no, it was a great little match. It was good wrestling. It was obviously the Hart family, like they're gonna put on a show. Yeah. But Davey Boy Smith, man, just looked like an absolute beast. You're bored.
I was yawning. Sorry. Anything else?
No.
No social media this week. No.
Well, again, we're just doing our thing, just kind of letting it out there,
plugging along.
We had Travis made some Seinfeld-based wrestling memes on our Ahmed Johnson episode. I don't think anybody cared about it too much, but it was funny. We laughed at it. We tweeted those and Instagram them out.
There's a new shit posting online. I was into Simpsons shit posting for the longest, and I still am. But there is a new meme creator, and it's melding the world of Seinfeld and professional wrestling.
So we just need to get ahead of the next one.
Yeah, what I think you should wrestle is a new one. Like,
yeah, so we got to find the next trendy thing to get ahead of that.
I mean, like I'm on all the trends.
I know, but as soon as we watched, I think you should leave. You really should have been on it.
I should have.
Sloppy steaks.
You should give.
It's got nothing to do with this.
It has nothing to do with piss.
So, yeah, anyway, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @$2steak_. You might find some nice things. You might not. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem, Aaron.
All right, for the strong style cookie, you have got a fun matchup between Eddie Guerrero and Davey Boy Smith.
Yes.
Cookie, did you do any research on this matchup, like after the fact?
How long before British Bulldog died after this match?
So Tolbert and I were looking it up. That is Davey Boy Smith's final match.
Wow. That is crazy. So he died in 2000.
He died in 2002, but WWE released him after this match, and he didn't work anymore. He retired from wrestling right after this match.
Wow. Just wow, man. It's crazy because this is now. I'll just go into it. This is grimy British Bulldog. This isn't. There's no braids. There's no Union Jack. It's just a bad attitude and a pair of Levi's.
That sounds like my dad.
Your dad has a great attitude until he's doing home improvement projects with you.
And a pair of his are more of his are Lee's. Yeah, Lee Wrangler.
Yeah, anytime you call your dad up to do a home improvement project, he probably just comes up shirtless with a pair of Levi's and some boots, ready to go.
Just angry.
Oh man, but yeah. So that's the British Bulldog that we have in this match, and he's going up against the European champion, Mamacita Eddie Guerrero. This is very early Latino heat.
Yeah, so I think he just won her affection, correct?
Yes, he had just won China's affection. And before this match starts, we get a hilarious backstage segment between Eddie, who's enjoying a nice game of Twister.
Yeah, I haven't played Twister in a long time, and I was very. It brought me back watching that Twister game.
You know, let's go on a Twister tangent real quick. I never played Twister before. Did anyone here play fucking Twister? Y'all did?
Yes, I played Twister. Of course, I played Twister growing up.
That just proves that you weren't born that early in the 90s.
Yeah, everybody played Twister.
True. I didn't play Twister, man.
Tolbert, did you play Twister?
Oh, yeah.
God damn it, Tolbert. Tolbert is...
So everyone played. Okay, so it was just me that didn't.
God, it was like this vinyl sheet of just like.
I played Super Soaker Twister.
Was that the one that you would press down and water would come up? Yeah.
Oh, that's a new one. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, Cookie, you gotta give,
dude. So you're telling me your parents paid probably $25 to $30 for a sheet and a little spinner.
It was a heavy duty plastic sheet with color spots on it and a cardboard piece with a plastic spinner, and you would just flick that thing as hard as you can.
I'm honestly surprised that my parents didn't like make their own version of it with like just a bed sheet and
some spray paint.
Yeah, like it would have been so easy to do.
Yeah. The best part was when your friends were playing and you were the ultimate spinner, the all-time spinner, and you would just like say like, all right, what's gonna fuck them up the most?
Yeah, and then,
you're like right foot red,
and they're like, I gotta see that, and but you're holding it where they can't see it. You're like, no, it just fell off of it. So
right foot red, bitch.
No, he's doing it on purpose.
How do you win? I've never. How
by
do you
not
win?
falling over.
Be the last one up.
Last man standing. I'll tell you, it's like
the Royal Rumble.
I have played it as an adult, and my lower back hurts so bad. By like 2 minutes in, at this point, I'm done.
I would play it on youth group trips, and then you had to go pray afterwards
because you had a boner.
Touch the girl.
Your middle leg on yellow.
Have your weak man looking up on the spinner.
Aaron, you said your back hurt. China was doing a full back bend.
Yeah, she was very impressive with that.
Yeah, and Eddie is underneath her doing I don't even know what the fuck he's doing, but he's yelling at British Bulldog as British Bulldog is yelling at him about how he doesn't take anything seriously. To which Eddie replies, which was I thought was one of the most funniest things about the segment. He was just like, "What do you mean I don't take anything seriously?" As he's like putting his right hand on red, playing Twister. This segment alone gets 5 cookies. Like I love this.
Good. Yes, I felt that it was a very good segment.
I loved it a lot more than I think I liked the match. But anyway, we'll get to the countdown now.
Cookies top 4, number 1.
Whew. All right. The chain wrestling in the beginning of the match. Holy hell, I didn't know British Bulldog can keep up. Like, I didn't realize how agile he was, even in his latter stages of his career. The guy could keep up with some chain wrestling with Eddie, who is probably one of the best at the luchador style.
And so, Cookie, there was a marked difference in Davey Boy's career. There is an old story that Davey Boy got slammed on the trap door that was supposed. So Davey Boy was in WWF, went to WCW. WCW was doing the stupid storyline about the Ultimate Warrior coming to avenge his loss to Hulk Hogan. And he was appearing all over the stadium and doing stupid shit like that, right? So there was a trap door built into the ring, and Davey Boy hurt his back by getting slammed on Ultimate Warrior's trap door. And a lot of people think that Davey Boy's work after that kind of fell apart, and he wasn't able to be the same person that he was.
How bad was he hurt?
Apparently pretty bad. I don't know. I got to look it up. But, like, yeah, he got hurt from that, and that was kind of the end of his working wrestling style, and it became more about power. But I watched this match, and I was very surprised at how good he looked in that match. I
mean, he was cartwheeling out of a monkey flip. I was like, oh, okay. He's still got some stuff.
Yeah.
He's still got some juice left. I don't mean that literally, but he might. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
Number 2.
How about that superplex counter? Like British Bulldog was going for a superplex, and Eddie countered it midair, and it gave me some Dax Harwood vibes when he took that brain buster. Like it almost went sour. And Aaron, I'm sure that you were standing right in front of the screen when that happened, freaking out. How'd you feel? How'd you feel, Aaron, when you saw that? Did you?
I definitely felt like it did look like Dax Harwood's. It looked good.
Were they doing an ode to Eddie then with that match?
No.
Okay.
No, probably not. But I'm just saying, like it
just made it look really gross.
Yeah.
I was just saying it just looked gross. Let's go to the next one here.
Number 3.
Now, what did look gross was this gorilla press slam that the British Bulldog did to Eddie, which Eddie countered by grabbing the Bulldog's neck and taking him over the top rope with him. I mean, it just looked nasty as hell. And I'll give it +1 cookie just because I thought it was gross and they pulled it off without killing each other. Yeah,
I thought that we were watching that. Tolbert and I were like, oh, but it looked good. It looked very good.
Oh, yeah. It looked really good. And speaking of, just a little side note, China, oh, my God, looked gorgeous on the outside. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if anyone else had a little crush on China, but I definitely did.
This is peak China.
This is like Playboy China. Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. Yeah, I think around that time. Yeah.
Didn't she? She did do Playboy, right? Or am I going crazy?
Oh, yeah, she did.
The Sable. Okay.
She did a little bit of everything.
No, well, true. Anyway, we'll go to my honorable mentions first. Aaron, did you pick this match because halfway into the match, Kevin Kelly yells, "Ay, caramba."
No. I did hear that, though, and I was like, oh, hey, Kevin Kelly.
I figured you heard the Bart Simpson reference and you were just like, oh my God.
That was it. Yeah, I knew that was going to be your match. No, I didn't. I went into this match not knowing what it was until like after I watched it. I'm like, okay, this, and this. And then I found out it was his last match ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that brings me to my next honorable mention. The ref trying to break up the fighting on the outside only to be shoved away twice by each combatant. And then they both work together and throw the ref down onto the mat / entrance way. And we get a DQ finish. for a championship match. And I don't even know if this was on Raw or...
No, it was on Heat.
It was on Heat. Oh, maybe that's why we got a disqualification to finish a championship match. Anyway, there's no place for disqualifications in the strong style. How many times do I have to tell you this, Aaron? -2 cookies.
Oh,
just for that.
It's hard.
Just for that. So let's go to my last one. Number 4.
Number 4.
Man. All in all, it looks like the British Bulldog, even though he does look looks like he still has a little bit of that agility and he still has some of that power, it still looks like he's a little bit bad off at this time. He doesn't look like the British Bulldog in Mike's match or even in Tolbert's match. But yeah, disqualification ending to a championship title match. Come on now. I mean, there's no place for it. So yeah, I got nothing. It was a disqualification finish. So there's not really much cool to happen. Aaron, you gave me a dud of a match.
Oh, come on. And I appreciated that match for what it was like when we were watching it. So.
Well, it was a Sunday night Heat match and they gave him like 8 minutes, maybe 7 minutes or so. Yes. I can't even remember how long the match was. I mean, it showcased both of their talents, but if I'm being honest with myself, I would have much rather seen them go for 15 to 20 minutes. And like Mike would say, fight forever. That's what I would like to see. I would love to see them just fight forever.
Let me go ball wash every freaking wrestling match ever then.
What does ball wash mean?
Think it through.
Washing your balls.
You're washing somebody else's balls.
Oh, it's pandering is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, all in all, this match is
this your voice that keeps hearing? I hear gurgles.
That was me burping a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Cookie.
Got gurgles in the headphones.
All in all, boys, if my math is correct, it gets 3 cookies.
Hey, 3 cookies for DQ finish,
basically for the DQ, and +1 and -1, which cancel each other out. So yeah,
but you got a plus. Did you get a plus for the Twister segment as well?
Oh, I said the Twister segment alone.
Okay, so there is separate grading for the Twister segment.
Yeah, the separate grading. So the match itself only gets 3 cookies because it's on Sunday Night Heat, and we all know that those matches were kind of booty cheeks.
Thank you, Cookie. Thank you.
It's a good segue.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
All right, speaking of booty cheeks, we have got Davey Boy Smith against Big Van Vader.
Yes.
The man they call Vader.
Yeah, he comes out looking powerful.
The Mastodon.
The Mastodon. Yeah, this is November 1997, and we've got Vinnie Mac on the mic. We've got JR and the King himself, as always. Vader comes out. All right.
Mike is about to vomit. Mike's vomiting on the mic, folks. He's gonna puke.
He's gonna puke. You done over there, buddy?
I'm just trying to cough, man. You're making a lot of noise.
A lot of noise, buddy. We can't.
I'm sorry. You're late today. You don't buy your kids Christmas. You're burping on the mic, and now you're making noise.
Maybe I'm turning heel. It's a slow turn.
Vader comes out to massive applause. Everybody loves Vader. This is Vader, a little bit later in his career, but he still invokes that same emotion when he comes out. You're like, it's fucking Vader time.
It's Vader. Yeah. It's time.
So he comes out solo. And you hear that he is up against Army. This is going to be Canada versus the U.S. And in his side, he is supposed to have a team himself, including Goldust, Mark Marrow, and the Patriot. But
a real who's who of just American. I love them. I love every single one of them. I mean, Goldust, take it away, is Goldust, yeah. but Mark Marrow and the Patriot, man.
But out comes his opponent, which is Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. He is looking. You mentioned that is probably the smallest you've ever seen him look.
Yeah, he's
still cut though.
Compared to like Davey Boy's other single runs, Davey Boy is smaller. He's not as small as when he was doing the tag team runs as the British Bulldogs, but I think that he looks svelte in this one.
And he is joined with Jim, the Anvil Neidhart. We all know him. Doug Furness and Phil LaFawn are in his
Furness
corner.
and LaFawn, the Can-Am Express.
And we had a good laugh over this, that JR mentions that, well, this makes sense because everyone is from Canada except from Doug Furness. And it's just not, I see why everyone else is. It's just logical.
It's just the logic. The logic doesn't add up. While Furness wants to fight for Canada.
We later find out, though.
Yes.
But the match starts and we have a stipulation for this match. This is a dog collar match. Bulldog comes out with a dog collar and chain around his neck. I was like, a little on the nose, Bulldog, but we'll do it.
We get it. Yeah.
So the stipulation of this match, you have to touch all four corners in succession. So here we go. We strap up, boys. We're ready to go. Vader's a big boy. He's starts throwing his Vader punches. Looks like it's going to be no problem for him. But we soon find out that's not the case because Davey Boy has so many people in his corner. And they keep interfering, poking with Vader, taunting him, and just generally messing with him, interfering. But we get some. This is a very short match, but we get some really stiff spots that make me kind of cringe a little bit. One of the first where Vader actually chokes the chain to kind of flip Davey Boy, but he lands onto the ropes, followed by a spot where he's going to clothesline Vader over the top rope and kind of go over the top. But Vader kind of gets tangled in the chain a little bit. Looks like he was about to blow out his knee there for a second. But,
it looked like it could have been a lot worse than it was.
We get a hangman spot kind of outside of the ring where the team attacks Vader, just punching him. We get a pretty comical splash from Jim. He kind of backs up, powers up, and you think he's going to spear him, but he kind of does this little
flops
flop splash. Yeah, exactly. We get back to the ring where Davey Boy rallies, British Bulldog rallies, and you think he's about to get that fourth corner, but Vader's got other ideas and brings him down, rallies himself, and musters the strength and the courage to finish this match by hitting all four corners. But instead of celebrations, we get the whole team attacking him right away. He's still chained up. They get him in the corner. They're choking him. They're kicking him. No one's coming. This whole team he has, no one's came to his rescue. King kind of makes a reference that Goldust might be in divorce court.
Which maybe a shoot. I don't know. I got to look at the time period, but it may be a shoot.
So this is, no one coming to his help, but a lone fan enters the ring. A fan has jumped the barricade and entered a ring and executes a perfect spin kick.
The fan. Could you tell me this fan also looked very, very apt with nunchucks?
Familiar.
He would be very good.
He was very skilled in martial arts. Yeah.
Who could it be? This fan?
Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman.
Wait, Cookie. Yes.
Wait, was he considered a lethal weapon by any chance?
Yeah. So at this point, he was just a fan.
Oh yeah, true.
No one searched him at the door, and he brought those guns right in.
Yeah, he
Can you have to register that?
I was like, what the? When I saw the person run in, and I'm like, that guy looks a lot like Steve Black. That's fucking Steve Blackman that they have. They would cut away from that nowadays, like with a fan jumping the thing.
But this is 1997.
Yeah.
The cops come in. We get referees. We finally get everyone split apart. Vader gets the dog collar off. He thanks his young assistant that has helped him. He protects him from a beating, but the cops haul him off. And I think it is JR saying he's going to spend the night in the Hershey Hotel.
Now we don't. I would like to think that it is in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was just saying maybe they're
we are in Hershey, Pennsylvania,
or it could be a butt stuff joke.
Yes.
We wouldn't put it past JR.
But I just want to get back to why we soon find out why Doug Furness has joined the Canadians to fight against. Vader.
They interview him. Yeah, Michael Cole does.
We get a cutaway right before Vader wins the match, and he says that they were in a recent car crash. And all their fans wrote him letters all across the world except for United States. None of the American fans wrote him a letter, and he is pissed. But Jesus says to turn the other cheek. He's going to turn both cheeks.
I love that line.
Yep.
Jesus said, turn the other cheek. I'm turning both cheeks towards America.
But yeah, he ended up catching a spin kick to the cheek from Steve Blackman.
Or it was never confirmed that it was Steve Blackman. But that was definitely Steve Blackman.
I want to know the backstory. Did he just happen to buy a ticket that day? He didn't wake up thinking he was going to come to Vader's rescue.
You never know, man.
But 5-star match, 5-cookie match.
I felt that it was incredible. Yeah.
We all love Vader.
Let's hear the HighKu.
All right. Bulldog's on the nose. Vader hits them corners. Excuse me. Vader hits all them corners. Steve checks in the hotel.
Reservation for one, please.
Oh, didn't it take 2 to tango in the Hershey Hotel, though? I would think.
I mean, it's Steve Blackman.
Well, you never know. Anyways, thank you for listening to $2 Steak. So Vader, Owen, or Eddie is the conundrum that we are all in.
It's a good problem to have.
It is.
This is no Ahmed Johnson, Marty Jannetty. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. These are 3 of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
It's like trying to decide what you're going to go for as your sides on your Thanksgiving plate.
Yeah. I think Eddie we could get international flavor with Eddie. It's going to be, this is the good feast. And we're going to have a feast next week because all 3 of these.
What if we found a match?
Yes.
Between with all 3.
I don't think all 3 of them are going to be in one match.
I'm saying, but like a Vader versus Eddie, and then an Eddie versus.
I don't think Eddie ever. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if Eddie ever was in the same promotion as Vader at the same time.
Saying is, you get what I'm saying, though. Eddie or Vader, Owen Eddie, and then we gotta go Eddie Vader.
This would be. It's going to be a big ask. We're going to try to. It
doesn't have to be that order, but we could try to just fit them all in.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try to do it.
Hey, you got a lot of time.
A feast of plenty.
You've got some days off this week.
I've got 2 days off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, boys. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving from $2 Steak, from ours unto yours. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast.